5 seconds, 2 seconds, ready. But we must also see that these industries must be developed properly and they must not take advantage of the protective duties or the national feeling of the consumers of our country. Therefore, sir, I feel that some attempts have to be made to see whether the transformers that are produced here are having a good market or not. All these factors must be taken into consideration before government bring forward an amendment to protect a particular industry. Mere protection is not enough. They must see that the industry develops and to that in steps must be taken. Then another thing which is sought to be protected is body panels including tops and sides for cars. This bill seeks to legalize the notification made by the Commerce Ministry to this effect. Sir, in moving this amending bill, the Honorable Minister said that he hoped that because of this protection, cars here would sell cheaper than foreign cars imported here. We know that in comparison, after taking into account the duties the foreign cars have to pay, the cars assembled here are cheaper. But that is not enough. It is nearly 4 or 5 years since this industry has been established, and we have to see to what extent it has been able to satisfy the needs and requirements of the consumers of the country at large. Sir, we saw reports about a year or so back that the Hindustan Motors factory wanted to close down because its production had no market. Since then, the government have taken some steps to protect the Indian manufacturers against foreign competition. But I feel, sir, that their policy should be so guided that in the case of those articles which can be produced or for which substitutes can be produced, an attempt should be made and direction should be given to the manufacturers to go in for them. Otherwise, it will mean unnecessary protection to industries which will mount up the cost for the consumer. Therefore, I hope government will consider all these aspects and put a limit up to which protection is to be given. We know about the sugar industry. I do not want to go into detail. The sugar industry has been protected for more than 20 years, and yet we do not know whether it can stand on its own legs. Sir, I find that the policy of imperial preference is still being continued. But what is the result? After the first 5 year plan, the number of the registered unemployed people stood at 20 lakhs. After the second 5-year plan, it rose to 35 lakhs. After the third 5-year plan, it crossed the line of 53 lakhs. After the fifth plan, it is more than 80 lakhs, and now it is 1.5 crores. This is the reality in spite of the ruling party tall talks of socialistic pattern, democratic socialism, and ultimately socialism and new economic program. The ruling party have been crying from the house tops about the so-called socialism in our country. The number of unemployed in the country has been increasing because their socialism is a fake socialism, and it is to deceive the people only. They talk of socialism only because they know people love and like it. People believe that without socialism, unemployment problem cannot be solved. But what is socialism? It is only the scientific socialism which is the real socialism, and which abolishes exploitation of man by man, which abolishes private property system in the economy, which takes the means of production in the hands of the state head, which guarantees the right to work. But in our socialism, the rich becomes richer and poor becomes poorer. This is really capitalism under the guise of socialism. This is fake socialism, and this is only to deceive the work. Can we claim of building socialism without making the right to work as a fundamental right? We cannot. In all the socialistic countries, this right to work is guaranteed by the constitution as a fundamental right. I would like to quote the relevant articles from the constitution of a few socialist countries. Article 40 of the USSR Constitution says that the citizens of the USSR have the right to work, that is, to guaranteed employment and pay in accordance with the quantity and quality of their work, and not below the state established minimum, including the right to choose their trade or profession. Article 48 of the Constitution of China says citizens have the right to work. To ensure that citizens enjoy this right, the state provides employment in accordance with the principle of overall consideration, and on the basis of increased production, the state gradually increases payment for labor, improves working conditions, strengthens labor protection. I wish I am not misunderstood that I am against giving protection to the industries. What I want to stress again and again is that any protection by government should necessarily be need based and purpose oriented.